I'd like to show you my process for planetary scanning and landing along with biology collection. A few things to note with my key bindings is that I have lateral thrust bound to Q and E for left and right, and R and F for up and down. I've also found bound forward and back to Shift W and Shift S. I find this makes it a little easier to skim the planet's surface. In addition, I have throttle increments set to 12.5%. While flying towards an object, it makes it really easy to throttle down to 75%. And 0% throttle is set to X. So here we are approaching a planet that has some biology. Once we hit about 12 seconds, I like to throttle down one notch, and then a second notch sometime before we hit 6 or 7 seconds. This avoids approaching too fast and having to fly around. When the planet fills my small reticle, I typically throttle down to 0 and then up 2 or 3 notches until the planet fully fills my DSS reticle. This is something I had done early on when trying to figure out how to scan planets. For all intents and purposes, I wanted to do two things: approach every planet the same, whether a small moon or a gas giant, and two, I needed a way of dividing the planet by thirds. So I got out my dry erase marker and opened up the DSS scanner and added a few calibration ticks on my screen every 60 degrees around the outer line. Effectively, this allows me to fully fill my reticle and somewhat accurately divides the planet into thirds. This planet has an efficiency scan size of 6 probes. Due to my engineered scanner, I typically do this in 4. One at the center, top horizon, 120 degree horizon, and 240 degree horizon. And for this, I usually go a little over the horizon to the backside, so you will note that the white horizon line at the edge of the reticle instead of at the center of the reticle. Using this method of always approaching the planet the same distance, I have found it fairly easy to drop a probe at the center of the backside when needed, regardless of the size of the body.
Next body to map is A10. Body A9 may host a marked biological.
This body has bacterium and may have a type I haven't recorded yet, so I'd like to go and check it out. Approaching the planet at throttle 0+3, what we really want to make sure is the ship speed noted in the lower left corner is down in the orange range. This keeps from emergency dropping out of supercruise and damaging the ship when going through the atmosphere. Since the biology I'm after is just about everywhere on the planet, I can approach more aggressively until the ship altitude hits the orbital cruise line. Once it does hit there, make sure to change the glide slope so as not too steep or out of the purple zone. I found you have a second or two to make that adjustment. During glide, you have a little less control over the ship and will typically exit glide around 3,000 meters above the surface. Continue down until about 1,000 meters and deploy the landing gear. This will help slow your craft down some more. I like to be less than about 50% throttle as we get close. Start to pitch up around 300 meters and start looking for biology to head towards. Deploy the ship's composition scanner and target the biology.
Bacterium Cerberus scanned. Base value 1,689,800. Minimum sample distance 500 meters.
In this case, I had already logged this biology, so not a new discovery. Since this bacterium looks to be pretty easy to pick up, I might as well scan it for the quick million. Touchdown and disembark.
First partial sample collected.
Scan it and go find the next one. Rinse and repeat.
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample. Second partial sample collected. Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample. Sample collection complete.
That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me on this little adventure. If there's anything I missed or you think I could do better, please let me know in the comments. Stay safe out there.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.